Hello, and welcome back to Expedition Builds. You know, Extreme Terrain recently sent me this new AFE high-tuck axle-back exhaust to install in the new Jeep JL and test out. So here's the plan. We'll get this new axle-back bolted on the new JL. We'll get you guys some sound checks, both outside, inside the cabin, hot and cold starts. See what we think of it. I ran a AFE exhaust in my previous JK build and absolutely loved it. So very much looking forward to getting this installed and see what we think of it. Stay tuned. So here's a look at my stock factory muffler on my 2-liter JL. As you can see, Jeep did a pretty good job tucking it up out of the way. However, I think we can improve ground clearances and maybe make it sound a little bit better. Let's get the AFE installed. This will be a very straightforward installation. We have 2 hanger brackets to remove, 2 bolts in each, plus 1 clamp bolt. That's it. Alright, so here's the stock muffler on the ground. Let's take a look at an interesting thing Jeep did. For clearance, this inlet pipe looks like it's pinched off pretty good. However, looking at it closer, I think it's not as restrictive as I think it was at first sight. They've stretched the volume out laterally. However, I do feel like the new FE is going to flow better. Now let's get the hanger brackets transferred off the stock muffler and over to the new AFE. I use a silicone spray to help sliding these on and off, as they can be a bit of a bear to wrestle with. And here's the 2 mufflers side by side. Also, let's take an in look at the muffler so you can see how differently the inlets are handled between the stock and AFE. AFE includes this heat shield blanket. This is used to cover the bottom of the tub that is closest to where the new exhaust will route. When installing your muffler, make sure you're completely seated on this guide pin. This will ensure a solid connection. Snug the clamp bolt good and tight, and we're ready to start this bad boy up. And now you can see how out of the way the new AFE high tuck really is. It's got a nice deep rich tone to it. I like that. We're sitting here at idle now, and it's as quiet as the stock exhaust was. Let's see how it sounds when we get it under load. As you can see, you're definitely aware of it versus the stock muffler. You hear it a little bit more in cabin, and instead of hearing more of the mechanical sounds of the engine, you're hearing a little bit of that very low roar that the exhaust is now making. So overall, I'm going to say that this exhaust is pretty mellow. Like I said, you're aware of it hear it under load. Here we are, just backed off. As you can see my speed, just cruising around town, give you guys an idea. Still pretty quiet, like I said, still pretty mellow. It's a very deep note, so your ears can pick it up. You're gonna hear it under load. But it is definitely there. All in all, it's a nice sound. I think I think AFE did a good job tuning this one. Okay, now here's just a quick sound clip of what the exhaust sounds like at idle. Stationary. Let's give it a few revs. Alright, so here's an in-cab sound recording of my 2-liter e-torque with stock muffler. It's pretty whisper quiet in here. You don't really hear the exhaust so much as you hear the engine sounds. So, once again, this is stock. It's super quiet, which I really appreciate it. It kind of adds to the refinement, for me at least, the refinement that we find in the JL. And of course, performance is great with the 2-liter. Okay, here we go from the start. Let's give you guys a little bit of what it sounds like inside the 2-liter on my Recon. This is that point where the engine begins to warm up and it settles into its low idle circuit. Now you can really see how quiet the stock muffler is. AFE did a beautiful job with the fabrication of these. All the welds look perfect, and as you can see with their inlet routing, flow should be much better over stock. If you're looking for a high tuck exhaust for your Jeep, take a look at AFE's Mach Force XB High Tuck. This might be the perfect exhaust for your Jeep. A special thanks to Extreme Terrain for partnering with Expedition Builds on this review. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you on the trails.